if nothing else, I pray that season 2 of Madam Speaker Says and the mini episodes that come up, I pray that you feel the permission to not only live up to your tallest height, but to stop playing small, okay? To be the boldest version and the boldest vision of what you are called here to share through your thought leadership, through your storytelling, through your writing, your speaking, your holding fort at dinners. I want you to understand that this work is in service, and if nothing else, it is in service of you imagining and seeing yourself the way that we see you, which is why your ancestors sent you here, because we need you. And all I want to ask you in closing is, are you answering the call that has been put out throughout the season? You're listening to Madam Speaker Says, your no fluff cheat code to becoming the voice everyone listens to. I'm your host, Magogodi. If you've been waiting for a permission slip to straighten your crown and take up space like you invented the blueprint, Madam Speaker Says got you covered. No whispers, no apologies, just you, me, and some bold-ass moves. Let's get into it. Season 2 of Madam Speaker Says. Oh my God, the levels of wow, right? And the levels of just gratitude that I feel for you, particularly for listening, for the guests and the places that we have gone. If there's one way to kind of describe what this entire season has definitely been like the responses I've gotten, typically over email, because this podcast also has a newsletter. And if you're not on the newsletter, like, you're missing the full experience. But I get so many responses to the newsletter that kind of teases the podcast that are like, yo, that totally dragged me. Like, my edges are just in another direction. And then afterwards, I feel like you gave me a hug. How did you do that? I have a friend who was traveling, and he was traveling to a place that's super contentious right now in the news. And he wrote specifically about episodes that we did. And what moved me so much was how this person's life in real time, for something that's really demanding in his life, right, was impacted and lifted through the work that we're doing. So I'm so full, and I'm so proud as well of this little baby that could. And I'm so grateful to you for being the kind of person who comes through again and again and says yes to listening. I want to just recognize how big this particular season has been in clarifying what Madam Speaker Says is about. This is the place where we go behind the business of storytelling, and we do it so that we can reshape and completely disrupt and reimagine and tear apart everything that needs to in fuddy-duddy models of thought leadership. We're not about what's existed before. We're about taking what our ancestors laid down, what we know through our expertise, and what we have lived through, our lived experience, and really supercharging that into the kind of thought leadership that heals, the kind of thought leadership that hypes up marginalized communities, right? The kind of thought leadership that actually does the work of reimagining. Like, we're in the game of imagination, and we're in the game of spreading love through how we imagine what this world could be. And as I'm saying that I'm proud of season 2, it obviously means that season 2 is coming to a close. Today is actually the end of season 2, and I'm very excited because we have a season 3 on the horizon. Season 3 is coming. I'm working on it, and it is coming in April the 15th. But because, like, in podcast years, that just sounds like 10 years from now, I want to do something that I think will be a fun experimentation for both of us. in the in between now and April 15, I'm going to come on here and we're going to do this thing together. We're going to be in conversation together through these mini episodes that are really an opportunity for us to have check-ins and to have moments of thinking through like they're like little seeds, thinking through like what's the beat, what's the thing that is most on our minds. And also because, like, let's be real, like you need to come here for something that is nourishing to your work, to your soul, every single week in those mini episodes. And I'm thinking of something like super, like just like a refreshing little yummy thing that you pop in your mouth. We're talking about like 5 to 10 minutes. One of the things that I want to offer as well is a little bit of coaching and like little coaching nuggets to give you the real tea on how I see something with no filter, as if I've ever given you the real tea on something with a filter, because I'm just that person. I speak my mind. And also to give you tiny little tectonic shifts that feel like this is small, but wow, it is going to shift something so profound for me, right? Like to give you pocket-sized courage and for you to give me pocket-sized courage as well. It's not one way, but how can we shift in real time one question and one big moment or one actionable prompt at a time? An example might be something like, well, one boundary future, looking at my notes here. What is one thing that you can shift that future you, right? Like what is one boundary that you can hold that future you is begging for you to hold that line right now? Maybe that's something that you should write down for right now. Like what is one boundary that future you is begging for you to hold up right now? So I'm definitely not going to leave you hanging, okay? Between now and April 15, we're going to be in this together. And this needs to be a conversation. The magic of Madam Speaker Says, and what I imagined from the very beginning is that this is the place where we truly build community, and not community that's like, okay, what I have to pay in order to get into this room, but community where I'm here to be in service, and community where you actually let me know, what do you want? Like how can I be in service? And also where we're growing from each other. And one of the ways that could be a game changer right now that you could help in opening your mouth and letting me know, what is it that would serve you the most? I want to hear your voice as I'm shaping season 3. Can you send me a note like via email? Can you drop into and slide into my DMs? Can you respond to this particular, if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment for me. Let me know exactly what it is that you want me to work on. What kind of guests do you want to see for season 3? What kind of topics do you want me to cover in season 3? Where do you need more support in your storytelling, in your thought leadership? Do you want me to talk more about public speaking? Would you like to hear a little bit more about writing? Are you more interested in the craft of these things as well as the business? How much does the business of storytelling really interest you? Do you want to have more financial data, right, around what these guests are actually able to do through the public speaking that they've spoken about, through the writing op-eds, putting on conferences? I want you to be as transparent and as forthcoming as you possibly can, because I want to create a season that feels like, yes, yes, okay, she heard, she gets us. And I'm also going to make one other request, which is that you share this and you forward this particular, not, I mean, yeah, you can share this particular episode, but I really would love you to share the episode throughout the season that totally helped you either see something completely freshly, right? Or it was an aha, like you had a moment in the middle of it that was like, oh, that's how I could go about this problem in a different way from how I'd been imagining it. Or maybe you got to see yourself in the shoes of somebody who was a guest and you're like, she did what? Oh, that's totally possible. Or maybe one of the mini masterclasses that one of our guests gave actually is something that you're testing out right now. Vanessa came on here. She is an author and she spoke about exactly how she put together her book tour. Maybe that's something that's informing your own book tour. I know it's definitely going to inform my next book tour. So if you've had any kind of value that you've taken from listening to these episodes throughout the season, do it right now, okay? Right now, do me a favor. I know that your phone has this capability. Press that arrow sign that allows you to tap up and share it either with somebody right now in a group chat. If you're in WhatsApp group chats, you can share it through a text. You can also share it through an email. Share it with one person who you know, number one, has been sleeping on their power, their story, and their energy, and how much the world needs them in this specific iteration of who they are. Share it with your sister, your friend, your cousin, your co-worker who is tired of dimming their light and being told like, oh, you should tamp it down a little bit, or you should be more like Steve and John. Did you hear what? And Steve and John are over there mansplaining. Share it with them because they need the permission slip that this entire season has been. And when they hear what that particular episode that rocked you, what it gave you, it's going to land so differently than anything else that I could possibly say. And if you haven't already, I appreciate your review. Okay, it goes a really long way in bumping up this podcast and allowing other people to join our community who are the kinds of people we're trying to lift up their voice and who we want to serve. Season 3 is going to drop, like I said, on Sunday, April 5, with fresh episodes, fresh guests, fresh energy, and all of your fresh ideas infused into what we're doing. And in between, we're going to take these mini episodes where you and I get to kiki and check in and also do the hard work week to week of lifting something that needs to be lifted, right? And basically like serving up courage in a bite-sized appetizer every single week. That's what we're going to do, you and me, okay? But I also want you to understand that this work is about staying bold. If nothing else, I pray that season 2 of Madam Speaker Says and the mini episodes that come up, I pray that you feel the permission to not only live up to your tallest height, but to stop playing small, okay? To be the boldest version and the boldest vision of what you are called here to share through your thought leadership, through your storytelling, through your writing, your speaking, your holding fort at dinners. I want you to understand that this work is in service. And if nothing else, it is in service of you imagining and seeing yourself the way that we see you, which is why your ancestors sent you here, because we need you. And all I want to ask you in closing is, are you answering the call that has been put out throughout the season? Thank you so much for riding strong with us. Thank you ahead of time for all of the feedback that you're going to share, right, about what you want to see in season 2 and season 3. And I will see you here next week with a mini episode. And I'm telling you, these are going to be bomb. And these are going to put courage like a huge thing that you're going to just pop it in your mouth in 10 to 15 minutes, and it is going to live in your stomach and fuel you when you have to do the things that you are called to do. This is Madam Speaker Says. I am your host, Magogodi. I love you so much, so much for being here, for being who you are, and I'm excited for this adventure together.
Hey, pull up. Just you and me for a second. Are you an exec, a founder, or an entrepreneur who's sick of shrinking in rooms you're overqualified to lead? It's time to stop playing small and start owning your expertise. But how, Magogodi? Girl, I got you. I offer coaching that helps women of color just like you to claim your place as a thought leader. Whether you want to command a room, craft and share your signature story, or finally get that book out of your head and onto bookshelves, I've got the strategy and spicy accountability that you need. If you're tired of seeing less qualified folks shine while you stay behind the scenes, girl, the wait list is open. Follow the link in show notes to stop waiting for permission and claim your VIP spot now. My mission? Helping women just like you to snatch the spotlight, shake the table, and take your damn seat at the top already. No begging, no detours, and nope, no apologies. Just bold ass moves.